This best case scenario for Bitcoin for 2021, it's going to surprise you. It may not be what you think at all, but it's going to be a wild ride. You better buckle up. If you're new here, my name is Steve. I'm going to help you have a lot more success and a lot less stress by focusing on the facts and the charts. Let's dig in. This is going to be an exciting video to make. 2021 has been a horrific year on multiple fronts, but we saw Bitcoin reach its high of 65,000 and plummet all the way down even below 30,000. And now that we're a little bit more than halfway through the year, what is realistic for the rest of 2021? What's the best case scenario with just looking at the facts and the charts? Not my emotional opinion, oh, Bitcoin's going to $1 million. We're not that kind of channel. What are the facts saying? Let's dig into it. We're going to get to this chart in a moment. I want to start with this one. We did a video with worst case scenario. If you want to watch that, we'll link it above. It'll also be down below. That's the worst case. We do not want that. But let's get to our boxes. Box 1, box 2, box 3. These are based on math, and they basically happen in the middle of each bull run. And in the middle of each bull run, Bitcoin has a consolidation standpoint where we have some red months. The market gets very bearish. People think the bull run is over, and then Bitcoin explodes with its parabolic top. Okay, so this consolidation is typical, and typically we see the RSI reach their monthly high in this cycle, as it did in cycle 1 and in cycle 2, and it just did in cycle 3. Okay, the bottom of the box is a 1.5x multiple of the prior all-time high. The top of the box, 4x multiple. So now that we have these sound boxes, our channel has been following these boxes for months even before we entered these boxes. So now that we've been in it for 6 months, so we've been following these boxes for about 8 months. So we suspected that we would be inside these boxes for quite a while, and we have. So in simple terms, if Bitcoin is to hold 30K, we will create a new all-time high this year. Plain and simple. If Bitcoin falls through 30K with the monthly candle or even a 2-week candle, the floor is going to plummet and the Bitcoin's going to drop significantly lower, and it will probably add 6 months to our bear market. So assuming we hold 30K, what is likely? What's realistic for this price action for the remainder of the year? Well, we're going to look at it from a couple mathematical ways. The first one is, look, if we take cycle 1, how far did it rally? Okay, how far did it rally from the high of the box to here? It was about 700%. How about cycle number 2? From the top of the box was about 300%. So one can say, based on these data points, it was a little bit less than half, right? From cycle 1 to cycle 2. If we were to take that simple math and create an idea, we're going to see if it coincides with what we see on this chart and what we see on this chart, okay? So assuming this less than half theory, it's less than 150% from our high here, okay? So if we go up to 150% and we know that we want it to be less, we're talking about that 200K level. It's more than likely going to be less than that, best case scenario. So we'll call it between 100 and 200K, and then let's test our theory in other realms. So for example, we know that the RSI could rally all the way up here. We have a ton of room to go, so we're good there. In the big picture, Bitcoin is kind of at a medium standstill with the monthly RSI. It's not overbought, it's not oversold, it's sort of in the middle. So we've got room to progress. But how about the logarithmic growth chart here? This is based on the Fibonacci sequence. And simple terms, we can just fast forward to the end of this year and see what's the highest level we get to. Why are we going to do that? Well, in each cycle previously, Bitcoin has rallied right to the top of this logarithmic growth curves, okay? It did so in 2011, it did so right in 2013, and it did so in 2017. If we zoom in, you can see we went right to the top each and every time. So let's assume that we go right to the top towards the end of the year. Wouldn't that be the best case scenario? Well, let's see what it's looking. Okay, so if we go to December, we're looking at about 142,000. So that coincides perfectly so far with our mathematical approach here. We said between 100 and 200K, and so far the logarithmic growth curves are saying the same. So far our theory is, look, if we hold 30K, we're gonna make a new all-time high. And if we hold 30K and make a new all-time high, we're gonna come out of this box on fire. And every time we come out of this box on fire, that was our market cycle top. Okay, so that's our theory so far. let's see what the stock to flow model says. And this was put together by Plan B. This is on the lookintobitcoin.com. And there's one major misconception about the stock to flow model. It's this level. This is, and by the way, there's multiple models. I like this one the most, but this one says 86K. Now there's some that say 288 and so on and so forth. But the major misconception is that this is the high. This is not the high. The reason for this level here and the reason why it flattens out is this is the average. This is the average of the bull market and the bear market, meaning this is predicting that the average price of Bitcoin over the next couple of years will be 87,000, meaning we have to go like 1 or 2 standard deviations above here and 1 or 2 standard deviations below for the average to be 86. So that also coincides with our theory between 100 and 200K. All right. So for example, if we went to 200K, we're going to need to come down way down here, 1 or 2 standard deviations for the average to remain true. Does that make sense? So our theory, if Bitcoin holds 30K between 100 and 200, 200 being the absolute best case scenario, probably a little bit below there, is holding true in all of these forms. Okay, so it's going to come down to this level. It's going to come down to more than likely the next 2 to 3 months. The next 2 to 3 months are going to dictate everything for Bitcoin. Are we going to have an extra 6 months on our bear market? Or are we going to hold 30K, make a new all-time high, go to our parabolic top, and then start our true bear market? That's to be determined. Hit that subscribe button. We will keep you up to date on this. Throw a thumbs up on this video. And if you're a student, pay close attention this week to your email. I would have already received an email with an incredible behind the scenes gift to you to be involved in something special that could even start paying you as a side hustle. So watch closely for that. I'll see you right back here on the next video. Peace and love to the fellow underdogs.